Alrighty, now with the update in Silverado, now it's time for an update on the 02 GMC Sierra. Really do like this truck. It's ratty, it's old, it needs help, but we did quite a few little things on so far this year that's been fun and been able to do it rather cheaply. So let's go through those. First off, tires from the Chevy went on to these $100 wheels that we picked up, and they were atrocious looking, aluminum and black. Repainted them. This will be the last time these wheels are used because guys at Long said they were a pain to mount on the wheels, so I'm not going to worry about that after these tires are done. Thankfully, you know, it's such a road going tire, it would have looked pretty pathetic had I left it black walls. So decided, hey, we got the white letters, let's put the white letters on here. It looks decent, I like it. As you can see, I kind of need to trim right here, but overall wheels seem to balance out, you know, okay for being old beat up wheels. But the tires are super quiet and so nice on the inside, and with my with my little boy along, it makes for a nice quiet ride for his little 8-month-old ears. So, but it got a nice stance to it. I like it. Really enjoying it so far, and it was nice cheap. I think it was 120 bucks to get them mounted, so 200 bucks for wheels and tires, not a bad deal. So I like the offset. Got a nice little stance to it there, so I think it looks good. I'm happy with it for the price and everything. So we did some exhaust tweaks. So I did this first just to quiet down the tone a little bit. It looks stupid, I know. The reason why it looks stupid is because I did that first and the exhaust was clocked for the Dynamax bullets. It still wasn't quite as quiet as I was looking for, so I had these old Flowmasters left over from the Suburban, so mounted those on there, and it messed up the angle on my fart can there. So eventually we'll get that tweaked, but right now it's not really bothering me. But it does have a good tone. I'm not going to crank it up now, but we will go through that on video 2. These wheels were just, I forgot, just painted, just hand painted. I used a grinder, clean them best I can, but it's just a cheap Rust-Oleum finish. Like I said, we're just going on cheap. Long term, we'd like to get some nice 20x9s for it. We will see what happens. Alright, next thing, decided to go with the Grandpa topper. Thankfully able to find this one 140 bucks, 60 bucks, I forget what it was, 80 bucks, 180 I think. Not quite the same shade. Got a few little fitment things to try to tweak here. I need to do the seals on the inside, but for the most part it has been very, very helpful. Had to buy the struts. It needs a little bit of work. It is not watertight whatsoever. But it's been very handy so far. I had to buy the locks for it. I got locks, struts, and I still need to put I have the clamps, not those clamps. I had the real clamps that are supposed to go on here, and eventually we will put them on there. So I don't have it locked, but I do have the bed lock as well. By Pop Lock, those are like 60 bucks for these trucks, and they work very, very nice. Put the key on, lock this one, lock that. Nobody's getting in there. It's like having a Suburban again to a degree, and I really enjoy having that. So, but I lost my third brake light. So to fix that problem, went ahead and got one of the under the tailgate lights for got the turn signals, got the reverse light. It's supposed to have running lights as well, but doesn't seem to be working for whatever. Eventually I'm just going to hardwire it straight to a tail light, so I'll still have this working even you know, when the trailer is hooked up. So but yeah, I think it was $13 from Amazon, so we'll see how long it lasts. Oh, let's see. Other mod we did. Still got some oil leaks I'm chasing down. 253,000 miles. I think we covered everything inside. We did a new, better lid there from the Suburban. The other original had the spring broke. Plus this one has the key, which I believe is lost. Oh, there it is. I found it. Nope, that's a different key. Not sure what that one's to. Anyways, so we finally put the Aero Force gauge on here. I still need to swap out, excuse me. Still need to swap out the other steering wheel with a better cover, and I need to figure out switch my turn signal as well, because I think that is the reason for my slow wipers. If I use it on high, it blows the fuse. So I'm guessing that's the issue there. So next thing we did was that we were really having low oil pressure issues with the cool weather, and so I had Tuner Chris come by, or I just dropped it off at his house, and bought an oil pump, new water pump, timing chain, etc. And he went ahead and redid the whole front there. And so in oil pressure, we got the high volume pump, he did the spring on the milling pump, and so we're at 60 psi all the time now. Excuse me, which is really cool. Enjoying that. So, and they went ahead and had him put the fans, electric fans on. We got the harness. Yeah, there we go. One of the parts on the harness wired up there. So we got that, and then we got new gaskets. Can't really see it too well, but we got the my ported and gasket matched Dorman intake there. I honestly can't tell a whole lot of difference. There may not be with the stock cam and being an old slap worn out motor, but anyways, got that. It's a Gates water pump, and I thought it was a good deal. I think it was 113 or 130, and it came with the thermostat as well. So I was pretty impressed with that. Let's see. Seems to be running great now. We had an issue too where the had a crazy rattle at cold start, and then taking off a little bit of a shudder, and I'm like, oh great. You know, transmission's going or whatever. Chris heard it. It's like, oh, we got a cracked flex plate. So I didn't have time to look at it. Took it to a shop. They found out, and I kind of thought this, but it was just loose torque converter bolts for whatever reason. I bought it in 17, and it had loose torque converter bolts. So not sure what that was, but anyways, they got that tightened up a few more bolts under there, and now it sounds great. No more rattle, no more popping. Doesn't feel like it's gonna come apart, so that's really cool. Let's see what else. Put a new master brake booster on there because the other one started leaking. Thankfully, O'Reilly's was real good about just swapping it out. I had bought it from them with the warranty, so took it in, got it swapped out, slapped it back in there, good to go. I was chasing down some leaks, and ended up being this hose right here that was my main culprit for the leaking. It was leaking down here at this connection, so finally got that replaced this couple days ago. And so for the most part, I found a loose hose over on this end. So for right now, we've got good brakes. All of our hoses are tight. Our reservoir is finally full. We got one less area that's leaking. I found a few transmission pan bolts that were loose as well. But then, last but not least, can't talk, had an issue where my heater core connections broke again. I took off real fast and started smelling coolant, and that was a very rough day. But one thing that might be a good tip for these older trucks, biggest thing, replace these with the Dorman metal ones. Those are an option. Look them up on Amazon. Brian told me about those, so definitely check that out. It's just not worth being, inconvenienced having those break on you. So because I've replaced these like 4 years ago, I believe, and it broke again. So I understand the heat cycle stuff, but still. Anyways, but thankfully having this adapter right here for being able to flush the system, or I don't know what that's for, bleed the system, whatever. But it did make it really nice just to be able to bypass the heater core instead of going all the way down to the water pump. Be able to just bypass there, tighten your clamps and go. So that was impressive. I'd almost recommend that to a degree, just because of the convenience factor, but really handy. So just trying to make sure both trucks are good for the summer before the mowing really goes crazy. Did great towing with the fans. AC's working nice and cool. It seems to be obviously a little bit peppier on get up and go at the lights. I don't know if mileage is that much better, honestly. I'm going to throw a new set of spark plugs in because it hasn't had any since I've owned it, which was from 2017. So hoping just to make it a good daily driver, pick up the little guy from the daycare, run errands, and be the backup truck. And so far it's doing an awesome job at it. I had one idea, kind of a wild hair idea, of getting it wrapped yellow and doing the topper white and making it look like the Pizza City truck on Toy Story. Don't know if that will actually ever happen, but it's a fun idea to think about. But anyways, these old trucks, these are really really the good ones. 02 to 06, if you got one, just consider hanging on to it. It may not be the best on gas mileage, but especially with the 2500s, you're not dealing with the DOD junk or the AFM. You're not worrying about all these extra modules and components. So, if you got one, probably keep it. If you got diesel, probably definitely keep it and throw some more money at it. So, I really think I kind of like the GMC better than the new Silverados. So, current opinion at the moment. So it still needs some work. It'd be nice just to pull the motor out, reseal it and everything eventually. But still, 253,000 miles and running good. Still got plenty of torque. A cam would do good. Stage 1 cam wouldn't hurt it at all. Headers would be nice, but still getting older and maturing, I suppose, and having it quieter is not bad. So, all right. Update on the GMC. We will keep you posted on any changes. Alright, time for a cold start with the torque converter bolts tightened now, and the new muffler setup. Still got a nice tone to it. The biggest thing is that the drone is decreased, which I really appreciate. Decent sound. I like it. The end cab is very, very good. I'm really happy with that. Still got a little noise down here, but just normal sounds for 53,000 miles, which I know is still a baby for these. But overall, seems to be running good. So, and look at that nice oil pressure. I would have times where it would start obviously at 0 and then would slowly creep up to maybe 40, and then it would just kind of bounce around there. So Chris told me when he was taking it apart that the O-ring was barely hanging on, so I'm glad he was able to take care of that before. Sorry about the hand, it was worse shape. So alright, we're gonna go grab donuts and we'll give you some in-cab sounds. Alright, so here's some exhaust cruising sounds. Jump on it a little bit. So I really like the tone of it, and especially with the bed cap back there as well. It kind of keeps it in a good range. And it just doesn't, at least for my ears, getting more sensitive and whatever. I don't know. You decide. It has a good tone to it. I still get the noise, but it's not the high-pitched drone, especially taking off, from a light or whatever, shifting gears through all there. So, and I really like those Flowmax, what is it? Flowmaster FXs? Yeah. So I really like those, but still, this setup's working out good. So it's 2 Flowmasters, 3-inch Flowmasters, into the 4, and then that little resonator welded on the back, just because I was going cheap. So overall, really good deal. So I'm gonna take my little drive around the airport here. Nothing like these Saturday morning drives. It's been a while. We'll touch base with you in a minute. Alright, so now we'll just do the sounds, taking off, traffic, so forth. So much easier on my ears, personally, going through the gears, stop and go, and the cruising tone was decent with the Flow FXs and that resonator. Even without the resonator, it was still good. It was just the start and stops that were kind of a pain, but overall, liking this setup. Just need to tweak that resonator sound, or a position, so it doesn't look so tacky and stupid. But anyway, sound update for the GMC. More tweaks and little stuff to happen as time allows. Thanks for watching.